Alright guys, so one of the issue with the ICOs has been that when you actually fund an ICO, you don't know whether the team is going to deliver the idea that they have promised on the white paper. So you've read the team, you have read the white paper, you've read the roadmap, but you're still not sure whether the money that you're putting into will be given justice. You don't trust basically the team. And also you might have a question, will I get my money back? So in case the team is not building as per what they had promised, will I get my money back? And the simple answer is no right now. You won't get your money back, right? And that is why there have been so many scams out there in the ICO field. Ethereum came out to be an amazing platform where people can go ahead, build their own dApp, raise an ICOs, which is great, fantastic. But along with the same thing came schemes and scam. People started raising funds for no reason. Today, if you talk about, there are more than 5-10 ICOs every day. You don't have a track record of who is doing what. I mean, people who are collecting funds in the form of ICO and becoming a millionaire in a day, buying their Lamborghini and whatnot. And then we were talking about the KYC, the regulations should come into ICO so that they can regulate, they know who is raising fund, what are they raising for, is the, but however, then we found out in the last video that again, hackers are getting the control over the KYC. Hackers are stealing the data. So I mean, there was a question mark whether the ICO should be regulated or should not be regulated. Should there be a KYC? But what if there was a model which ensures that the project that you are trusting on, the project that you are funding, you will have rights, or you will have say in getting your money refunded in case if you're not happy with the way the project is being built. And keeping that in mind, and that offers a lot of security to you, right? And then you are more sure that okay, my money is safe. At least if they don't build anything as they promise, at least I'll get my money back. And that similar concept is going to be built in a new form of ICO called DICO, right? Which is a combination of decentralized organization, autonomous organization, and ICO. It's a combination of both, which results into DICO. This is being proposed by Vitalik. And going ahead, if any ICOs which are raising funds to the normal ICO model, not to the DICO, I think they will not be able to win the trust that the people who are using DICO model of ICOs will be able to gain the trust. There is already one ICO which is called the Abyss ICO, which is already using this DICO model of raising funds. However, there are still some questions and some doubts as to whether this will be successful or not. But let's go ahead and read out what exactly this new ICO model is all about. It's very important to get updated on this new ICO model. So let's go ahead and look into what exactly it is. So it is an improvement on the ICO fundraising model that incorporates certain aspects of DAOs. So DAOs, if you know, it's a decentralized anonymous organization as referred, and this is being combined with the ICOs. So this idea was suggested by Vitalik in January 2018. It is aimed at making the ICOs more secure by involving investors in the initial project development process also. Why initial development process? Because so far investors' role was only to fund the project. They have given you money, you have given their money, and that's it. Your role ends there. Now the investors' role does not end just by funding it. They will also be a part in the development process as well. How? Let's go ahead and read that out. It says it will further enable token holders to vote for the refund of the contributed funds if they were not happy with the progress being made by the developers. If you're not happy the way the project team is building up the roadmap, they are not going as per the roadmap, you'll be able to get the refund. Now you might have a question as to how is that possible. So in this case, what happens is all the money that is collected by the ICOs does not go to the development in one go. It is locked into a smart contracts. Okay, and the way it is released on a monthly basis to this project team to work on the project. And as and when the project progresses, the fund will be released. So the money is not going to the project team in one go. So I mean, there have been ICOs which have raised 300 and 400 and 500 millions, and some ICOs have stopped working after that. Once you have collected funds, why do you even want to work on the project? Right? There have been teams, right? And to avoid that, the best way to avoid that is not to actually give all the funds in one go. So the whole funds that gets distributed in the DICO model gets locked in a smart contract. It doesn't reach the development team at all. It does not reach the project team at all. It is locked into a smart contract, and you have the right as to how much should be released out of these smart contracts every month to the development team. And yeah, and of course, if you're not happy, the investors have the right to vote and get the refund money back as well. So they're not happy with the progress being made by the developer, you have the refund right for the refund. On the developers and given, okay, it says for the projects that implement the DICO concept, it will force a level of accountability on the developers. So there's no accountability right now on the developer scene, right? There is no accountability, absolutely no accountability. There's no one actually overlooking them that you are really building up the project, you're really building up the idea that you have just proposed in the white paper, right? And what if something goes wrong with the infrastructure, right? In all these cases, investors will have rights to get their money back, which is a great move. So it would reduce the number of scammy ICOs which are going on in the space right now. It will force a level of accountability on the developers and give token holders additional peace of mind that they are guaranteed to either see at least a minimum viable product or get their money back. How does DICO work? The DICO contracts will have a mechanism where contributors can send funds to the project in exchange for network-specific tokens. When the crowd sale period ends, the contract will prohibit anyone from contributing any further. This is the normal token sale. So this is what has been happening so far. Right now, this is what is going to be the next. So this is going to be the added. So there is one variable that comes into effect after the contribution period has ended called the tap variable. What is the tap variable? As you can see in this picture right here, you are the investors who are investors, right? They have the control over the tap of the funds. They decide how much funds needs to be released over here so that it can reach to developers for them to work on the project. It's a pretty much safe, secure ICO funding model that I've seen so far, right? And there is one ICO only so far it's working, but I'm sure going ahead, all the ICOs will have to adopt this DICO model to bring justice to investors' money. This tap in the contract can be programmed to predetermine the amount per second that developers can withdraw from the token sale funds. Initially, the limit will be set to 0. But contributors can then vote on a resolution to increase the tap. So the voting system is what required. Of course, I'm still not very clear, or it's not written here as to who all investors can actually participate into the voting system. Is there a minimum criteria for the investors to have that voting system as well? These are some of the questions still need to be answered in future. It says what elements from DAO are incorporated. So of course, first, at no point is complete trust placed entirely in a centralized team. Because right now, what is happening with the ICO's team, you are still trusting a centralized team. You are giving all the money is going to a central team, which is now supposed to work on the project. So it is ICO is centralized, very much centralized right now. Decisions on funds from the get-go are decided by the democratic voting system. It is a voting system in place. Second, the funding is not released in the lump sum, but a mechanism is implemented to spread over the time. All the money will not be given to the project team in one go. As the project team starts working, the funds will be released from the smart contract. And finally, there is an opportunity to refund the contributed money. The decision is based on the wisdom of the crowds. That is, the contributors can vote for the refund of the remaining finances if the team fails to implement the project. This is an amazing idea that has been proposed by Vitalik. And hopefully this will bring more transparency into the ICOs. It will reduce the number of scammy ICOs, and investors will feel more safer investing into the ICO. With an ICO, once the token sale finishes, developers have complete access to all the contributed funds. That's the scenario right now. Developers have to calculate in advance how much is necessary to produce minimum viable product, and once they reach this amount called the soft cap, they can start to work on the product and spend the money on whatever they deem necessary. That's the problem right now. I mean, people can buy Lamborghini with the money that they have collected. Nobody is stopping them from doing so. If they don't reach the initial soft cap, they have to refund the money. So this is the only case that soft cap is not reached, the money will be refunded. But once you have crossed, once the ICO that have crossed soft cap, there is no control on what is going to happen with the money that has been collected. And but still, people are very safe in going ahead and participating. That's like crazy. If they don't reach the initial, they have to refund the money. But if they do, there is no further obligation. That's the scenario right now. But with DICO, contributor can vote on resolution during the development phase to either increase the tap, right here, how much funds they want to give. They can increase it, or return the remaining contributed funds, self-destructing contract. What are the benefits of compared to ICOs? Contributors have much more to say and influence in the development stage of the project. Right now, there was no role of investors at all in the development phase. You've given the money, that's it, you're done. If they're not happy with how the project is progressing, they can set the contract to withdraw and get a refund. Simple as that. I'm not happy, we are not happy the way you're working the project. You're not going as per the roadmap, we want our money back. Done. Period. This completely mitigates the risk of scam ICOs, where developers hold a token sale and then run away with the people as soon as the ICO is finished, without producing any product. As the amount of the funds that get released from the smart contract is limited and strictly controlled, it will reduce the occurrence of 51% attack. Even if 51% attack does happen where an attacker wants to send funds to a chosen third party, the consequences will be contained to the amount that was authorized to be released by the contributors at any one point. Now, there is also a less chance of hacking here. So far, the ICOs have also claimed that they have been hacked, so they can't really build the project. And as an investor, you are helpless, or you got hacked. There is nothing much I can do. This reduces the chances of hacking as well, because not all the funds is going to be released. Even if there is an attack, only those amounts which are coming out from the tab funds for this month will only be stolen, and not more than that. The rest of the money is still safe in the smart contract there with the ICO. With the ICO, once the team raises tens of millions of dollars, it suffers deterioration and its motivation. This is the biggest issue right now. Its motivation to implement the project, or at least the activity, decreases significantly. With the DICO model, the team's motivation to bring the idea to life, that is to deliver the product, is sustained over a lifetime period. Simple as that. If you don't deliver the product, your money is locked. You are not going to get the money. You better go and work on the project, that the promise that you've made. What are some of the potential challenges with the ICO? Like I said, there are challenges right now. As with any new concept, there will be some challenges that need to ironing out. If developers hold a large chunk of distributed tokens, they potentially only have to influence a small percentage of contributors to sway their vote and get more funds released from the smart contract. Still, there are some issues with the DICO as well. So like I said, I'm not really sure as to what are the criteria of voting, right? And if it is going to be a small number of investors, that can be influenced by the developers as well, like rightly mentioned here. It says contributor education is also crucial. They need to understand why the price of a specific token is rising or falling to make the right decision when voting on increasing the tap amount or returning the funds. The best decision is one based on the facts relating to the project itself, not on emotions connected to the price of the particular token. Most of the investors have no clue as to why they are investing. So this also brings to the fact that if you are an investor, you better know what is the project all about and how the project is going to work, so that you are more focused on the project and not on the price of the token. Finally, contributors can also completely disengage by putting all their trust in the DICO concept itself, and therefore feel it's not necessary for them to actually partake in votes and resolution, reducing the majority threshold and weakening the security of the mechanism. But having said that, I still see that the DICO will reduce the number of scammy ICOs on a larger scale. So of course, the last one is, what are some of the main characteristics of DICO? A resolution to vote on tap increase can only be initiated by the project developer. There is a percentage limit by which the tap can be increased at a time. It gives some features of the DICO which is really important and will reduce the number of scams going on, and will increase the trust of the investors when it comes to investing into our ICOs, and will also ensure that all these projects that are ICOs that are being promised right now will result into an end product, which is the end goal, right? So which is amazing. Let me know, what do you think about this DICO project? What's your opinion on DICO project? uh, do you think it will play some kind of accountability and responsibility on the project team, and will it give more trust to the investors when it comes to investing into ICOs? Let me know your opinion in the comment box below, guys. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to leave these links in the description below. Please go ahead and watch it, read it if you want to, and do spread the word, share, and give this video a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video.